and welcome to Dabbling in Journals. This is part 2 of my videos on Stalogy notebooks. In the first part I showed the journal covers that I keep my Stalogy notebooks in, so if you're interested in that, that's on my playlist. In this video I wanted to look at the actual notebooks themselves so that I could show you the different sizes available and how they look when you actually journal in them. So what I have here is an A6, a B6, a half year A5 and a full year A5. And I don't know about you, but one of the things that I'm always doing is changing my mind about what size I want to use and what I want to use different notebooks for, which is why I have these different sizes. But I do love all of them, and in fact I've changed the purpose of this one, but I'm happy with the others that I have. So let me start by just showing you a size comparison. So we've got the A6 and the B6, so you can see how much bigger that is, and then we've got the B6 with an A5, so the B6 is a little shorter and slimmer than the A5, and then we've got the A5 in the half size. I mean, it looks fatter because it's been used, but I think you can see there that that's half the size, so it's half the number of pages compared to that one. Okay, so let me show you how I journal in them. So I started actually my Stalogy journey with the half size. They do come in different colours. They standardly come in black, pale blue, yellow and red, and I think this is a limited edition colour, which I really love. I wish it was the standard colours. I don't know whether or not it's going to go away, but I like brown colours. So this is what I started with. So I just bought the half year to see what I thought of it and decided to do some memory keeping journaling in this size. And it is in fact a really nice size for memory keeping. I've just put some journaling prompts here. This came from London Gifties, and so did that pretty card. I've made a pocket there. I've just got a scrawler box sticker in it at the moment, and I journal in here. So I watercolour. I'm trying to learn to do fancy writing, but I'm not very good at it. I just can't seem to get the hang of it at all. That's stamping and stickers and watercolour. I put watercolour around the edges. I just like the way it makes the paper go all crunchy and yummy. So yeah, I journal in here. I do little watercolour sketches, try drawing a little, I don't know, calendar thing, and I'll journal. Another lovely postcard from London Gifties, which I've got as a flap, another little watercolour sketch. So obviously in this size you've got a fair amount of space to write, so I can fit quite a few photographs from my Polaroid zip printer in here. That's my daughter's adorable puppy. That was the haul where I got the postcards that I've put in here, and obviously I can write quite a lot. Sometimes I do a week on one page, just put snippets. This was a little watercolour sketch I did of a film called In This Corner of the World, an anime film. I watched it with my son. It was really good. Really enjoyed it, and so I just drew it so I would remember. More photographs. If I get a little gift card I stick it in. Some wax. That was a wish list. That was a terrible watercolour head that I didn't like, but still it's in there. Little watercolour sketch when I went for a walk. That one I hated so much I've covered it up. I don't know why, I just don't want to look at it. And more planning, more journaling, lots of photographs. And actually it was doing really well in here, and I was enjoying, you know, swishing a bit of watercolour around the pages. So I was using it sort of half as a planner, half as a journal. And I say you can get a lot on the page. This was when I was trying to decide what colour pencils to put in my superior labour no, it was to put in a pencil pouch. I didn't have my superior labour pen roll at this point. Little sketch of a gift I was given, and so on. So you get the idea. Well, that was a new journal I got, which I don't think I've shown yet. Moving away from my family. So yeah, there's lots of family pictures, as well as, for example, some stamping. Those are London Gifty stamps, which I just coloured in. Lots of different journaling. And then I got to, and I was using these tabs to separate the months, and it was going really well and I really liked it, but I didn't have an A5 cover that wasn't huge. I've got huge ones, and it won't fit in my bag. This A5 is just a bit too big to fit in my bag. So I thought, well, I'm really loving the paper, why don't I try a smaller size? So even though it's not finished, and I will use up the paper that's in here for various things, maybe sketches or whatever, so that it's not wasted, because it's beautiful paper. So I decided to change to a B6 for my memory keeping. So again, I'm tabbing the months, and these little tabs come from Traveller's Company. This one I've just decorated it with some scrapbook paper and a sticker from Traveller's Company, and got some sticky notes, more sticky notes. And in this one I did my calendars at the front, so I just drew out the calendars, stamped the year, written in the dates, and I used little stickers to remind me of different things I've done on different days and so on. So yeah, we'll look at all my calendar. I've got wish lists everywhere, and they're never ticked off. That was a meal plan, so I just put all the family favourite meals, all the fish ones, poultry ones, meat ones, vegetarian ones, trying to gradually get rid of the meat. We'll carry on like eating fish and poultry, but we are trying to reduce our meat consumption. And so again, I started with this, and I always start all enthusiastically and do loads of watercolouring. So this was very much like an illustrated journal. It was my sister's birthday, so the present. That's my dog doing some agility training. Lasagna I made, taped my mum's weekend away, little sketch of the car, drank lots of red wine, had coffee, a lovely roast dinner that was cooked for us. That day I made a cake, photographs. I was feeling sad that day, so I've got a sad eye, and a watercolour. So I was doing quite a lot of watercolours. That's a meal I cooked with my son. He wanted to try Japanese ramen noodles, so we found a recipe and we made it together. Another sad day, some beautiful flowers that I was gifted. I think this was my birthday, because that journal my sister bought me with my girls. So yeah, I kept up with this. Oh, there is my superior labour pen roll. So that's when I got it, just after my birthday. And I've got the Namado store washi tape everywhere. So you get a fair amount of writing space, and I could have more writing space if I didn't watercolour around the edges in this weird way. I don't know why I do that. I must like how it looks, and I like how it makes the paper feel. Sorry, more family photos. So I carried on with this, and I was doing, oh, that's a new bag that I got for my birthday as well. Superior Labour bag. I absolutely adore it. Never took it out because we were in lockdown. So it's never been out, but it sits on my desk where I can admire it. A note from my mum. And so on. Oh, and that's when I got my Coeco Brass Sport that I love so much and show in every video. I really, really love that pen. Birthday celebrations of my family and so on. Oh, there's a picture I haven't coloured. To-do list. Still do a little bit of planning in here and so on, and it goes on and on. You don't want me to flip through everything, I'm sure. But we got to January and I did 2 pages. And then we've got to February and I've done 2 pages. And I've got some bits and pieces that I want to put in here. I think what happened was we got to that point, we've been in lockdown so long, I just suddenly thought I haven't anything to journal about, which obviously is nonsense because there's plenty of little things that you can journal about. And I think it was at this point I decided to do gratitude, because I didn't have anything that I felt I wanted to memory keep, and I was feeling depressed, so I started a gratitude journal, which I've already shown on my channel, and I thought that would be a good way for me to focus on all the good things in my life instead of fretting about the fact that we couldn't go out. And so I will carry on with this. I really like this size. I think I will continue in this size for my memory keeping, even though I did also really like this size. But if I show you, let me show you a page, but you can see the difference with the amount that you can actually write on a page. And I could write smaller. I don't have to do all this. I didn't have much to write. Have I got a page where I've written a bit more? Yeah, there we go. You can write a lot more if you want to. And similarly in here, I haven't used the whole space because I just like playing around with the watercolours and the stickers and the washi tape, as most of us journaling people do. So that's those 2 sizes. And then I've got the A6. Now I use the A6 for my tarot journal. I've only recently discovered tarot, and I don't really know much about tarot. I'd just thought it was a fortune telling type tool and I'd never really explored it, but I came across a video on YouTube and I just fell in love with a deck of tarot cards, and I will show it to you. It is this deck, and it's the artwork is so gorgeous. Such gorgeous, in my opinion, artwork. It's done in oils. I just thought it was so gorgeous and so inspiring, and I will show more of these images in a future video. But I was drawn in by the artwork, and then I bought another tarot deck. I know I'm digressing, but it will explain the purpose of this journal. So this deck is another one, and again, I just love, I mean, look at that card. I love the artwork. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I decided, as I like these so much, that I would try and find out a bit more about tarot. So I bought a book called Learning the Tarot, which I'm working through, and it's really interesting, and I'm discovering that the tarot is a really useful tool for prompting your journaling, encouraging you to self-reflect and think about what you're like, what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want to be. So I find in terms of self-reflection, it is really inspiring. The artwork is also really inspiring if you like sketching and learning to draw, as I do. So I just decided that I would just start learning a little bit about the tarot and see how it might be useful for me, and I'm becoming really interested in it. So this little journal is what I use to do my daily tarot card draw. So I draw a card and I write about how it makes me feel, whatever inspires me. If I can look at the meaning of the card and see if that inspires some journaling, and I just put in a little photographs which I take on my Polaroid zip sticker. It prints photos on sticker paper, and I put them in here, and actually you get quite a lot of writing space depending on how much. Now you see I don't decorate this as heavily as I do my memory keeping journal, which I've got all this watercolour and far more stickers and things, so you can write quite a lot in the A6, and I just find this is perfect because if I've got the cards in front of me and I want to look at them and reflect on them, this is not in my way. I can move it, it fits on my desk, so that's what I use my A6 for. And finally I have my A5 in the full size, and this one again I'm using as a tarot journal, but I'm using this more in a case of just studying the cards. So it's all writing, I'm not drawing in here. I do collage just to make it look pretty because I can't help myself. I just like sticking down stickers and bits of paper, and obviously without that colouring that I was doing when I was using it for memory keeping, you can actually get quite a lot of writing in here if you want to. And I think I've got some pages which, you know, I've tried to write a bit smaller, and I've got even more sort of notes in here. So it's a notebook where I'm learning about tarot, and yeah, I just decorate it to make it pretty. It's going to last for ages because the paper is just so thin. But notice that I've been writing with a TWSBI Eco with a stub nib, so it's quite thick. The ink's coming out quite wet. It doesn't bleed through at all, even though the paper is wafer thin. And similarly, if I get out my smaller one, which we've already looked at, the watercolour crinkles the paper. It crinkles it, but it doesn't. I mean, on that side I've watercoloured a little drawing, and on this side I just cover the whole page with watercolour, and it makes it go crunchy, which I really love, but it doesn't bleed through at all. So I think it's fantastic paper. It's very like Tomoe River paper. If you're a Hobonichi fan, this paper is very similar, I believe, to that. So that is my little discussion of Stalogy journals, or Stalogy notebooks, whatever you want to call them. If you've got any questions, please comment down below. If there's anything further you'd like to know about these notebooks, or something you want me to show, or if you want me to show different mediums on the notebook paper to see what it will stand up to, then I can do that. Thank you for watching. Bye.